Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this brand new mega series that I'm putting onto the Shane Parks Education channel along with the physics videos. This is going to be a playlist that goes through the entirety of Leaving Cert Mathematics. Mostly it will cover the higher level stuff, but ordinary level students should find a lot of this still equally helpful. Now, I'm going to be treating this mega series as if I was teaching a class, so I'm going to go in the teaching order that I have specified. So, how I would usually start pretty much all of my classes is I'll firstly talk about the thing that's on the opposite end of the calendar for most people in Leaving Cert Mathematics, and that's just talking about the course and exam format. Now, the course and exam format that I will be stating is particularly valid for the 2025-2026 exam year. This, of course, could change in the near future as it did with Project Maths in the 2010s. So if you're watching this video in a distant future, firstly, hello. Hopefully I'm still alive by that point. And this video might or might not be applicable, or maybe this entire video series. But how we kind of start it is, previously, if you sat a junior cert paper, you would have done just the one paper. However, in Leaving Cert, because the course is fundamentally bigger, it's actually split. So how it is that you have two papers. They're equally timed, and they're also equal in length. So one paper isn't necessarily weighted more than the other. So in paper one, these sort of main topics, this is like your sort of abstract section. So you wouldn't be dealing with a lot of figures. Instead, it's like more algebra based than the paper two stuff. So you have a lot of your major algebra topics. Calculus as well comes up here. So calculus makes a big part of paper one. They're the kind of two major topics, but another few topics that can come in. The ideas of functions, sequences, which in and itself also incorporates financial maths, so that we can we won't really specify, and that's really the main four that can come up in paper one. Paper two is a lot more widespread in topic, and the questions don't tend to be as heavily algebra based, though they do require a lot more critical thinking skills. So in here you have your geometry, both standard Euclidean reasoning geometry as well as coordinate geometry. So the way we split coordinate geometry is we split it between the line and the circle. They form the sort of the umbrella term of coordinate geometry. But then we also have your trigonometry in here as well as your probability and statistics. Now, in particular note to sequences and its derivative series and trigonometry, there have been a couple of cases, especially in the recent years, where they kind of straddle both papers. So it's not necessarily, have all of these topics memorized for paper one and then completely forget about it, because sequences could come up in paper two. So there's one example where in paper two, there's a question, or it might have been paper one the other way around, where you had a bunch of squares sort of being enclosed within each other, and you have to find some particular quantity about the squares. So that involved both sequences and some sort of geometry skills. So it's important to have everything sort of equally covered for the exam.